So you've got a killer crypto idea, the white paper is immaculate, the tokenomics look like a Michelin star meal, and yet somehow, the moment you open your mouth about raising capital, half your community quietly unfollows you. That's not a coincidence, that's a pattern. And it has burned more promising projects than any bear market ever could. Let's talk about why this keeps happening, because it's not just greed or bad timing, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of what a crypto community actually is. Your holders aren't just investors, they're believers. And the second they feel like exits rather than partners, you've already lost the war. Think of it like a neighborhood barbecue, where you invited everyone, let them bring their own food, and then quietly started charging admission at the gate. That's what a surprise token sale feels like to someone who joined your Discord at day one. The psychological contract gets broken before a single dollar is raised, and that damage is almost impossible to undo. We've seen this movie before. ICO Mania of 2017 gave us a generation of founders who confused hype with trust, raised millions, and delivered nothing but a Telegram group and a roadmap drawn in Microsoft Paint. The communities that survived that era weren't the loudest ones, they were the most transparent ones. Here's the irony nobody talks about. The projects that are most aggressive about fundraising are usually the ones with the least leverage, while the projects with real traction can raise quietly through value alone. Scarcity of communication breeds speculation, and speculation breeds the exact panic selling you're trying to avoid. So what actually works? The most successful capital raises in crypto have used staged community rounds, giving early believers the first and best access at disclosed terms with full transparency about what the money is for and what happens if targets aren't met. This isn't charity, it's alignment. And aligned communities build floors, not ceilings. One of the most underrated tools is the simple agreement for future tokens, what the industry calls a SAFT, which lets you raise from accredited investors without the regulatory grenade of a public token sale. Pair that with a community treasury vote on how funds get deployed, and suddenly your holders feel like stakeholders instead of exit liquidity. The misconception that you have to choose between raising enough capital and keeping community trust is simply wrong. That's a false binary built by founders who skip the relationship building phase. When your community genuinely believes in what you're doing, they become your most powerful distribution channel, your loudest advocates, and sometimes your most patient capital. History is pretty clear here. Projects that raised in smaller tranches, communicated milestone by milestone, and returned value before asking for more ended up with communities that bought dips instead of selling them. Discipline in how you raise is a direct signal of how you'll spend, and the market reads that signal even when it can't articulate why. Position size matters just as much on the fundraising side as it does for individual investors. Raising too much, too fast inflates expectations to levels no roadmap can survive, and raising too little leaves you grinding in survival mode instead of building. Find the number that funds 18 to 24 months of real execution, and then be embarrassingly honest about that math with your community. The philosophical truth underneath all of this is that crypto communities are one of the only asset classes in history where retail participants can have the same information as insiders if founders choose transparency, and that choice is entirely yours. Squander it with vague promises and sudden raises, and you don't just lose capital, you lose something much harder to rebuild, which is credibility. At the end of the day, the projects worth backing are the ones that treat fundraising as a continuation of the relationship, not a transaction that ends it. And if you build that culture from day one, capital tends to find you rather than the other way around. Discipline, sizing, and consistency aren't just investing virtues, they're founding virtues. And whether you're building in crypto, real estate, or anywhere capital meets community, the principles are the same. Communicate early, structure fairly, and never treat the people who showed up first like they showed up last. If you want help getting started, whether that's real estate investing, home contracting work, or finding the right lenders, check out our links in the description below.